The competitive season is over, ladies and gentlemen. What the hell happened to you? Well, I'll tell you what happened to me. And hello, I'm Stylosa. Welcome to the channel. So, I do this for most competitive seasons. I put a video out and I'm like, hey, what are your goals for the season? And then after it, I'm like, hey, did you achieve your goals for the season? Now, you know me, I'm a bit of an idiot. I've got like 7 accounts. Now, I've not used all of them. I think I played 3 of them, or well, at least 3 of them placed. Now, the hilarious thing in all of this is my accounts have changed names so many times, I will often get confused as to what the hell is going on. All right, so let's start off with the Stylosa account. This is I think this was Steak Bake. This is a fairly high rated account. This is a GM account. This is like a 4.1, almost 4.2k account. I didn't even place it this season. Yeah. What the hell? Of course, I've got a very secretive account, which I did place, which did play in low GM, although I only played some 11 games in the entire season. So that's not really a very, it's not very representative of what happened that season at that level. Whatever. Then I had another account. This is the Spitfire account. Now, I think I placed this one, and it was somewhere like mid-high masters. It was okay. But then it decayed, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the moral of this video, at least of this season for me, is decay. Now, that account decayed down to 3k. I then had the account which I used for most of the video footage that you guys seen on the channel. Now, this was the Absolute Unit account, but it was called the Lazine account. That's what this was. This is my oldest Overwatch account. This is the original Stylosa account. Like, looking through the history of this account, it's like a tank account, basically. So I played a lot of tank, a lot of Reinhardt, Winston, and all that good stuff. Anyway, obviously, I play a lot of different heroes, and I kind of wanted to play more DPS this season. So I started out, I believe, playing Hanzo. This account, I think it topped out at like 3.8k. This was with a lot of Hanzo. This is when Hanzo was a bit stronger than he is right now, because Mercy could damage boost your dragon. So if you guys remember at the start of the season, it was a lot of Zarya, grab dragon combos were just everywhere, and a lot of the game just sort of came down to, hey, we've got a grab, so now we're definitely going to have a dragon strike because Hanzo can charge it so insanely fast, and then you just fire that bad boy in, and well, it would be great. We also had Brigitte as well this season, so I played a little bit of Brigitte. I kind of enjoy playing Brigitte, but playing against her is absolutely hell on earth. It is the worst feeling ever when they pick a Brigitte and it just shuts your team down. You're like, oh no, what the hell are we going to do? One thing I did enjoy doing this season, though, is playing a bit of Widowmaker. Now, my win rates on Widow are not the best. I think they're about 49% on the Absolute Unit account, which is not great, right? That's normally you want to be above 50%. If you're below it, then you really probably shouldn't be playing that hero, or at least you need to go and get better at the hero. Now, that's not to say when I'm playing Widow in games, I'm throwing games. I'm not throwing games, like I'm obviously trying. But to me, it's like it's easier for me to play at not at those sort of low GM levels, because there's no way I could play Widow at that level. I'd just get destroyed. But sort of mid-master level, yeah, that's kind of fine, right? That's kind of where you learn. And this is a whole other thing, right? People get really annoyed with, because I guess you could say that's a smurf, right? What you've got me doing there is playing, like, I'm a tank player, and I guess you could say a support player, but mainly a tank player at the higher level. Playing DPS at a lower level, is that fair? Now, I'd say it is, because, well, it's still fairly high master, but also that's kind of what my DPS ability is, if you get what I'm saying. Like, so it's not like I'm some sort of massively amazing GM DPS player trolling in like mid-master. That's not a thing. Like, I'm playing a totally different role. So at least in my head, I think that's okay. Anyway, what happened to this account? Well, I had some 40 hours played this season on this account, and it was interesting. It was very Overwatchy. It was very flip of the coin. It was very, are we going to win today because we get a team comp? Now, you're probably thinking, well, Sty, what the hell? What about LFG? Well, you know what, guys? I think I've played maybe 10 games of LFG all season. I'm not sure what to make of that. One of the problems I've got with LFG is it is... well, I'm just going to say it's much harder. It's much, much harder than solo queue, because in LFG, you generally against a team that have got people playing the roles they want to play, and because they've been together as a team, yeah, they are like, they might have spoke to each other before the game, they actually work together better. So you actually have to try much harder. Now, this isn't to say that I don't think it's better. I do think this is the best way to play Overwatch right now. But why have I played so little games instead of just going into like quick play and having a good, well, not quick play, going into, see, I'm calling normal competitive, just going into normal competitive solo queue and just sort of rolling the dice and going, hey, whatever is whatever, and playing this 50% game of like, will we win or will we lose because we've got a trash team comp, which you don't get in LFG. The thing with LFG is it's so mentally taxing. After like a game or 2 games, I'm like totally wrecked. Like I can't play Overwatch anymore. So like I'm almost having this crazy decision to make of, do I just play solo queue where it's almost, well, it's a lot less structured, but it's still competitive because I can still get SR, right? But the games will be a lot quicker. It's a lot less sort of, it's more laid back even. Whereas when I'm going into LFG, it's like, it's almost like, LFG is like going into a raid. If you play World of Warcraft, guys, LFG is like going into a raid, whereas the competitive is kind of like the solo queue comp is just sort of like going into an LFG dungeon sort of thing. And wow, it's not like a dungeon finder thing. It's not as taxing, but you still kind of get the same sort of reward in a way. You get what I'm saying? Obviously, you don't. Raids have got better loot. And I know what I'm opening that whole can of worms there, ladies and gentlemen, but you get what I'm saying, right? And it's really weird how that has affected me this season. Because I was like, wow, right, LFG, this is all I'm going to play. But I literally cannot do it because it just destroys me too mentally. Now, I am very lucky that I get to see a lot of professional level scrims, whether that's through like Spitfire, Hurricane, or a lot of UK World Cup stuff. When I watch that, it is mentally taxing for me just to even watch the scrim. And this is why a lot of the pro players who scrim a lot don't really play on the ladder that much, because it's absolutely, it destroys your brain, right? To scrim takes so much mental, like, acuity. You have to be very clear in your head. You have to be, like, it's such a hard game to play Overwatches at the highest level. It is crazy. And I guess this kind of comes back to the heroes that I sort of gravitate to. And this season, I would say, I had the most fun playing Hanzo and McCree. I don't think McCree is exactly in the best position, but he did get the little buff to his fall-off damage at max range, so he gets a little bit of a buff. But the thing with McCree, it's a really satisfying hero for me to play. So I sort of, when you land those headshots and you get those kills, it feels so nice, so awesome. And in my opinion, he's got the best sounding weapon in the game by far. Nothing even, well, maybe a nano-boosted Bastion. Well, actually, a nano-boosted Sombra is quite nice. But McCree's Peacekeeper, it's a beautiful thing. It sounds amazing. Great weapon. Really enjoy playing that hero. It almost feels like really pure because you don't have a self-heal. You can't really get out of the way. The only way to kill the enemy is to click on the head. If you don't do that, then you die. That's just how it is. So yeah, I've been enjoying McCree. But the heroes I've had the most success on, it's kind of been the same old story. It's been Reinhardt, it's been Winston. And the way I'm having success and the way I'm able to play in GM with those accounts is I am very vocal. Like, I talk. And that's obviously a strength, yeah? So this is the beauty of Overwatch. It does cater to different types of players. And if I want to go into LFG, then I can select the main tank role and say, guys, I will play Reinhardt, I will play Orisa or Winston, and I guess even Hammond to some extent now. But I will play those heroes and I will be vocal, not like over the top, but I will set up attacks very basically, because you don't need to be like over the top. You just say, guys, we're going to dive the Zen. Come with me, Diva. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. A countdown always helps as well with comms. And in fact, I should probably do something on comms because I think a lot of people don't really know how to comm, and it's very easy to comm. But you have to be very clear and you have to assist your team. Like, one of the worst things you'll see is people just going, like, I'm blading, and his Genji just rips his blade out and he just starts jumping all over the place. But he wants a nano boost. Now, what he should do is go, I'm going to blade in 3, 2, 1. If he gives a countdown, Anna will be aware, and then Anna will apply the nano boost. So let's talk about Anna, because Anna is coming back into the meta. Next season, we're going to see a hell of a lot of Anna, because she's really, really good. We've also got Hammond, who is really, really good. Now, the thing with Hammond is he's very disruptive, the most disruptive tank in the game, and he can set up kills. So I think we might see like a form of hyper dive coming into the game, where Hammond just goes in, knocks people up in the air. Your Widow can just headshot people at will because they're flying up in the air. Maybe your Winston you've got with your Hammond just goes in as well, or your Diva, or you've got a Genji. It can be really, really ridiculous. Anyway, what the hell happened to me this season? What was the deal? Why was it a season of decay? Yeah, because I think travel plays a lot into what happens to me. I think the way I play the game is really stupid. I don't play with anyone. Now, this might sound completely ridiculous to you guys because it would be very easy for me to just go, hey, let's play together. And that's what I should do. But I don't. I just play on my own. So combined all season, I've probably played maybe 70 hours of Overwatch on my own. What? unless I was using LFG, in which case I was still playing on my own, really. I was just playing with people that wanted to use LFG. Like, I'm not using any kind of system to play with friends. I'm not playing with friends. People are asking me to play, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Not because of, like, you know, I might think I'm better than them or they're better than me or whatever. I'm just not doing that, which I think is a failure for me. And it's also really stupid because it makes me feel a bit isolated, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm playing a team game on my own. But the reason I've always done that is it's more representative of what the average player experiences when they play Overwatch, because they play on their own. So I want that because I want to know what your experiences are, so then I can make content which is relatable. This is why I don't show a lot of GM footage. In fact, I hardly show any GM level footage on the channel. It's because I don't think it's relatable to everybody. I think seeing Masters, okay, maybe that's not as relatable, but it's still easier to see. And even recently, some Diamond footage. That's because that account got wrecked down into, well, it went down to 3K. Now, actually, I'll touch on that for a second. So the absolute unit account decayed all the way down to 3K, which will happen if you don't play enough games. This was because of travel. So I came back and I played a few games, and I suddenly was getting like 80 SR per win and whatever. This is because when you're below Master, you get the SR adjustments, I think, still apply. I might have got that incorrect, but I was getting a hell of a lot of SR anyway. It was ridiculous. But then it started going back to the age-old win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. And I'm like, hang on, how can this account be stuck at this level? Now, granted, it was more of like my DPS-y kind of account. So then I really started to try hard. And I'm like, right, okay, guys. And I'm trying to set teams up because I'm wanting to get the hell out of Diamond, like. But it really wasn't working. Now, I think what actually happened is, because it was the end of the season, it was kind of suicidal to even attempt to... well, do that. You know, like, it was totally suicidal. So I was like, just sort of throwing SR8. Actually, I don't think you get. Hang on, you know what? What is the dynamic SR? Like, let me Google this in the middle of the video. This is the word. Is it only up to Diamond or only up to Master? Hang on. Dynamic Overwatch SR adjustments. I can't remember. Apparently, like, this is hilariously funny because a video's popped up of mine and it says, "Don't worry, SR update explain." Anyway, who cares? Whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, that account got kind of stuck in Diamond, but I didn't really grind it as I should have done to get back out of that. I just sort of went away to Korea and then decayed even more. So even that was, I think it from 3K it went up to about 3.4. I think it was about 3.450-ish around that. Obviously, then it decayed back down to like 3. I think 3,080 or something is what it ended the season at, which wasn't great. Now, what am I going to do for next season? This is the big question. This is the big thing. And this is more of like a question for, I guess, what am I going to do with myself? Now, I've been making Overwatch videos for a very long time, and I still want to make Overwatch videos. But in the back of my head, there's this thing, and it's saying you should stream, Sty. I know you like streaming, so why the hell aren't you streaming? Why do you insist on making videos, which is very taxing when you could be streaming? You know, maybe you could even make videos out of the stream VODs as well, so you would be killing two birds with one stone. And streaming is fun. Now, that's not to say I just stream Overwatch all the time, but obviously I would because I play a lot of Overwatch. But I'd like to play other games, and maybe that might be the way out for me. I don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost. Let me know what happened in your last competitive season. Did you hit any goals you set yourself? Did you fail miserably? Did you not play much competitive? Didn't you like the meta? What are you looking forward for the next season? Like, we're going to see Hammond, we're going to see Anna used a lot more next season, which is going to be really cool. Anyway, I've waffled for enough, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video. And remember, you can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming. And I will catch you lovely lot on the next one. Toodaloo.